Did you know that plants are some of the earliest living things that came to exist on our planet? And it's fascinating to think that over 400,000 species of plants are here on Earth. And hence, there is so much to learn and discover about our leafy green friends. But with so many different types of plants, it can be overwhelming to understand them all. So, when it comes to understanding the world of plants, classification is an essential tool. It helps us to identify and categorize many different species of plants that exist on our planet. However, the earliest systems of classification were based on superficial morphological characteristics such as color, number, and shape of leaves, and such systems are artificial. In the case of angiosperms, or flowering plants, early classification systems relied heavily on vegetative characters or andrecium structure. However, this approach had limitations. It separated closely related species based on only a few characteristics, which made it difficult to accurately classify plants. Moreover, these artificial systems gave equal weightage to vegetative and sexual characteristics, even though vegetative characters are often more easily affected by the environment. As a result, scientists had to develop new methods of classification that could take into account a wider range of factors. To address this limitation, scientists developed natural classification systems that took into account a wider range of factors, including internal features like ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology, and phytochemistry. By studying these aspects, scientists gained a better understanding of how different organisms are related to each other, which led to more precise and reliable classification systems. One of the most well-known natural classification systems for flowering plants was developed by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. Their system was based on the natural affinities between plants, and it took into account a wide range of characteristics, including morphology, anatomy, and phytochemistry. Bentham and Hooker's classification system was widely accepted and influential. It was organized in a hierarchical fashion, with plants grouped together based on shared characteristics. The system was also highly descriptive, with detailed descriptions of each plant species included. Now, let's see which classification systems we use nowadays. So, currently, scientists use phylogenetic classification systems to group organisms based on their evolutionary relationships. This means that organisms that belong to the same taxa are believed to share a common ancestor. However, in cases where there is no fossil evidence to support the classification, scientists rely on additional sources of information to address classification challenges. These additional sources can include various types of data from different scientific studies and research. By incorporating multiple sources of information, scientists can better understand and classify organisms even when fossil evidence is lacking. After phylogenetic classification, scientists also use other methods of classification, which includes numerical taxonomy. Numerical taxonomy is a method used by scientists to classify organisms based on all the observable characteristics they possess. With the help of computers, this process has become much easier and efficient. In numerical taxonomy, each characteristic is assigned a number or code, and all this data is then analyzed and processed. This approach ensures that every characteristic is given equal importance, and it allows taxonomists to consider hundreds of characteristics at the same time. Now, apart from numerical taxonomy, there are two other methods commonly used by taxonomists. One is cytotaxonomy, which focuses on studying the cytological information of organisms. This includes factors like the number of chromosomes, their structure, behavior, and other related aspects. By analyzing these cytological features, taxonomists can better understand the relationships between different organisms. The other method is chemotaxonomy, which utilizes the chemical constituents present in organisms for classification purposes. By studying the chemical constituents of plants, taxonomists can resolve any confusions or uncertainties that may arise during classification. Are you familiar with an organism that resembles a plant? It's called algae, and it has the ability to produce its own food using chlorophyll by the process of photosynthesis, similar to plants. Algae are simple, plant-like organisms, and are mostly found in water, both freshwater and marine environments. However, algae can also be found in other habitats such as moist stones, soils, and wood. Some algae even form partnerships with fungi, lichen, or live on animals, like the algae found on sloth bears. Algae come in a wide range of forms and sizes. Some algae exist as colonies, like volvox, where many individual algae are grouped together. Other algae take the form of long, thread-like structures known as filaments, such as Ulothrix and Spirogyra. In marine environments, certain types of algae, like kelps, can grow into massive plant structures. After understanding the shapes and sizes of algae, let's learn about how algae reproduce. So, algae have different methods of reproduction, including vegetative, asexual, and sexual methods. Vegetative reproduction occurs through fragmentation. When a part of an algae body breaks off, it develops into a new thallus, which is a complete structure. Now, in asexual reproduction, it involves the production of various types of spores. One common type is the zoospores, which are spores that have flagella, allowing them to move. When these zoospores germinate, they give rise to new algae plants. Coming to sexual reproduction, in algae it occurs when two gametes fuse together. Gametes are reproductive cells. In some algae species, the gametes are flagellated and similar in size, like in Ulothrix. Other species have non-flagellated gametes that are still similar in size, such as Spirogyra. This type of reproduction is called isogamous, in which gametes are similar in size. Now, in certain algae species, the fusion of two gametes of different sizes occurs. This is known as anisogamous reproduction. An example is the species Eudorina. Another type of sexual reproduction in algae is oogamous. It involves the fusion of a larger, non-motile female gamete with a smaller, motile male gamete. Algae such as volvox and fucus reproduce through oogamy. Let's discuss the economic importance of algae. Algae play a crucial role in benefiting humans in various ways. They are responsible for fixing around half of the carbon dioxide present on Earth through the process of photosynthesis. As photosynthetic organisms, they also increase the levels of dissolved oxygen in their surroundings. Algae are extremely important as primary producers of energy-rich compounds that serve as the foundation of food chains for aquatic animals. Some specific species of algae, such as Porphyra, Laminaria, and Sargassum, are consumed as food and are considered part of a healthy diet. In fact, there are approximately 70 species of marine algae that are used as food sources. Additionally, certain types of marine brown and red algae produce significant quantities of hydrocolloids, which are substances that can hold water. Examples of these hydrocolloids include algin, derived from brown algae, and carrageenan, derived from red algae. These hydrocolloids have commercial applications in various industries. Agar, which is derived from algae species like Gelidium and Gracilaria, is used to grow microbes in laboratories, and is also used in the preparation of ice creams and jellies. Another type of algae called chlorella, which is a single-celled organism packed with proteins, is used as a dietary supplement, even by astronauts during space travel. Algae are classified into three main classes based on their characteristics: chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, and rhodophyceae. These classes represent different groups of algae with distinct features and characteristics. These different classes of algae are very important from the exam point of view, and we will cover it in the next video. We hope that you have understood the topic of system of classifications and get introduced with plant-like organisms, that is algae. Now, here is a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures, and solve NCERT-based MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for Class 11 and 12 biology, and much more for your NEET preparation. Thank you.